In today's Cad Task, we'll be focusing on another revision question, this time on assembly. Alright, if you recall what I mentioned last week I mentioned that your CSWA consists of three parts. There's the objective part related to 2D drawings, that's very small amount of marks. There's the part creation part, similar to what we did last week, and also there's the assembly part which we're going to do this week. Alright, altogether there should be around 5 main questions. Okay, so this week. Before we begin, I'd like you guys to download this Word document here, and also this one here, and finally I'd like you guys to download the CSWA assembly. All this can be found on Moodle. Right, download these three parts. Okay, okay, let's begin. Okay, so this is a typical past year assembly question. Alright, what it means is that in an assembly question you don't have to create the parts. Okay, let's take a look at the question. Okay, basically you're given three parts. Alright, the assembly in CSW could have more parts. My own CSW exam, I think I've got around 5 to 6 parts. Alright, if you're lucky you can get 3 parts. Alright, so this is an easy question, 3 parts. You don't have to create the parts out by yourself, just like in the real exam. Okay, the parts are usually provided for you by the examiner. Okay, your job is to assemble them. Okay, following the diagram. Okay, following this diagram here, and and then what happens next is that you need to find the center of mass. Okay, assembly is where usually most of you can get do a pretty good job. You can get almost full marks. Okay, if you're going to screw up, as I mentioned last week, is the part creation part. All right, you should get full marks for assembly. In fact, one common strategy that students do for CSWA is that we jump straight to the assembly part and spend as little time as you can. Just try to finish it in under 10 minutes, and then put the rest of the time into the part creation. That could be a good strategy. Okay, in fact, the assembly part is so easy, they even give you an answer. Right, they will tell you that, okay, check that your center of mass is this. Okay, before you submit your answer. All right, okay, so let's before I continue, all right, let's take a look at the question. All right, as I mentioned, every week I'll have to remind you on this. Okay, every week I need to remind you on what to do. Okay, and this week is week 4, so you should be done for drawings and advanced drawings. These two are actually the same thing, so there are only 2 things only. All right, so if you have done up to this part here, okay, I guess your CSWA syllabus is almost done, because the remaining part for week 5, this except for multi-body parts, right, design tables and surfaces, they are optional. They are not part of your CSWA. It's good to learn, right, because then you can do more things for your SolidWorks. Okay, so reminder, quickly finish up to this yellow part here for this week. Okay, so let's get started for this week's Cad Task. Alright, once again I'm going to split the screen in half. Alright, okay, where's my SolidWorks? Okay, alright, so to begin, click File, New, click on Assembly, click OK, do the 2 checks. Alright, check that your units, very important, are in, close this. Okay, if that pops up, close it, you don't need it. Check that your units is in millimeters, and very important, make sure that your origins are enabled. Alright, so okay, when you do this kind of question, the first thing you need to know is that, look at this picture here. There are 3 parts: the green, the yellow, and the blue. They're even color coded. Yes, the long pin, the chain, and the short pin. Alright, so in CSWA is very easy. The first part that you're going to bring in, okay, is the part that is connected to the origin. Do you see here it says your assembly must start from the origin? Alright, this is a tutorial, so we actually put it there to help you guys. Alright, but in the exam they won't tell you, but you must know. Okay, the first part you're going to bring in is the part that is connected to the origin, which in this case is this green part here. Okay, so don't bring in any other parts but the part that is connected to the origin. Alright, so go to assembly, insert components. Alright, for me it's easier to find it on the desktop. Cad Task 5, bring in the long pin. Okay, click open. Okay, if you have watched my introduction to assembly video, you know that I always say that the first object that you're going to bring in, you're always going to want to hit the tick button. Don't left click on the screen. Once you bring in, don't left click on the screen, hit the tick button. And now you see why. Alright, because if you look at this question, the green part here, the top of the green part, which is the first part we are bringing in, the long pin, needs to be mated to the origin of the entire assembly, which is this thing here. Alright, they need to follow the x-axis to our green pin, to our long pin x-axis, the z-axis and the y-axis. All of them have to match with this thing here. So hit the tick button when you're ready. Okay. Right, next, insert another component. Okay, and logically you're going to insert the yellow one because you need to mate the yellow one to the green one. Okay, the chain link. Click open. Okay, left click. Alright, and what you're going to do next is you're going to start mating. Click on the mate button. Click the hole, click the shaft. You know this by now. Alright, hit the tick button. Also, one more thing, in CSWA, if a lot of you are asking me what does the scope cover, the scope basically covers all the mates in the standard mates, from coincident, parallel, perpendicular, tangent, concentric, log, distance and angle mates. They don't cover the assembly, the advanced mates that I know of so far. But if you want to learn extra, or if you think that the shortcut, the ones that are good even though they are not covered in the syllabus, are like symmetric mate, with mate. Alright, these two can help you a lot to shorten, to save time. Okay, you don't need it to pass the exam, but it can help you to save time. Mechanical mates, no, I don't think, not for CSWA. CSWP definitely. Yeah. Alright, so basically focus on all these mates here. Alright, you can learn some of the advanced mates by yourself, they're quite easy. Okay, so I've mated one time, so now it's concentric. Okay, but we need to stop this chain from moving. Alright, the second part that you bring in is almost as important as the first part, because alright, this is where you need to pay attention to the question. If you look at the yellow, the chain, alright, this face here, if you zoom in carefully, can you see that it's actually not in some arbitrary position? It's actually parallel to the x-axis. Alright, this yellow part here, this line here is parallel to the x-axis. Alright, it's you have, so that's the hint. You need to make this sure that this thing here is parallel to the x-axis. So let's do that now. Hit the mate button. Okay, so but before that, let's mate the top part here to this top part so that this thing will be flush. Exactly, you have to do exactly like this. Hit the tick button. Alright, so how do I mate this so that how do I make sure that this thing stops moving and it's parallel to the x-axis? So if you notice, your front plane, there are three planes here, but the front plane is actually parallel along the x-axis. So you can actually make planes as well. Nobody says you can't make planes. So what I'm going to do is click on mate. Open this button. Click on the front plane. And I have a choice here. I'm just going to select this face. I can also select the inside face. You know by now. Alright, so left click. Alright, select parallel. By default, it's smart enough to know that you're trying parallel. Hit the tick button, and you're done. Alright, with the second part. Okay, so the third part is common sense. You're just going to bring in another yellow chain, or you can bring in the blue one. Alright, let's bring in the blue one. Insert components. Alright, again, Cad Task 5. Short pin, insert. Okay. Mate the shaft, mate the hole. Okay, I don't have to double click. I can continue mating if I know what I'm going to do next. Click on this face, click on the yellow face, hit the tick button, and you're done. So at this point, I'm going to leave you to do the rest of it by yourself. Okay, pay attention to A, B, and C. Alright, this some of you might not be familiar with this mate. Some of you, I think I've shown you guys this before. Right, but you need to know them. Right, you see this a lot in CSWA. It's either going to be this. You need angle mates. Basically, you need to play with angle mates. So this A, B, and C here represents the degree. A represents 25 degrees, B 125, C 130 degrees. Okay, so you need to be familiar with angle mates. Okay, in CSWA, if they do not give you angle mate question, they will give you distance mate. So you either get an angle mate or distance mate type of question. So you need to be familiar with both. You never know which you get. Probably you might even get both, since there are two potential assembly questions. Right. So I will stop here for a while. I'll pause here for a while. Okay, I'll leave you guys to finish assembling everything. All right. Okay. Welcome back. So I hope you have done assembling everything. Okay, shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to complete this assembly. It's quite, as I mentioned, it's quite easy assembly. You only have 3 parts. Okay, to deal with. All right. So probably once you're done with that, okay. So in exam, if you want to know whether you have done it correctly or not, so what you're going to do next is you're going to check your center of mass, and how you do that is that you go under evaluate, the evaluate tab here. Okay, and you see something called mass properties. Click on that. Okay, so you'll see that there's something called center of mass. So everything has to be, I think exam the tolerance is less than 1%, I think around 0.1%. So yeah, but for assembly it should be 100% accurate, right? Especially for center of mass. So we check here 348.66, negative 88.48, negative 91.40. So we know that this is correct. Okay, so if this is correct already, then we can finally just answer the question. Okay, so if you look at the question, it says once you have completed your assembly, check the center of mass for the assemblies. Same as above, done. Okay, if it's not, then you have made a mistake and you should try finding the correct one of you. Once each assembly is correct, use Moodle quiz. Okay, you need to go to Moodle. Alright, there's a quiz in Moodle, and what you want to do is you want to copy paste px, py, and pz value over here. They are the principal axis of inertia and principal moments of inertia, this line here. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to copy them. Okay, you want to copy these 3 values here, okay, into a notepad or into the quiz. Alright, same thing in exam, there's going to be a slot for you to copy paste the answer there. Alright, this is where I say if you get your units wrong, alright, if you're not using mmgs, okay, then all your values here will be wrong. Okay, so with that said, alright, so once you're done with the first question, then the second question is very easy. Again, just save this file, follow the convention. Okay, so file, save as, alright, say assembly 2165 to 554. That's my ID number, use your own. Alright, question 1, save. Okay, save, yep, save everything. Alright, and what you want to do next is you want to file and pack and go. Alright, pack and go. Okay, you all know how to do that by now. Pack and go. Okay, alright, again, just rename the pack and go file as the same name. Alright, 2165 to 554, question 1. Alright, question 1. Okay, and what we're going to do next is save. Alright, so it has created a folder and save all the assembly parts together. Okay, so next, what we're going to do next is, after you have done that, we're going to change the angle mates. Alright, it's very easy how to do that, and just scroll down. Okay, if this is closed for you, open it, edit the angle, right click, edit feature. Okay, and you can change the angle to following the new values, 30. Okay, and tick again. Alright, change the second one, 115, tick. Edit. Alright, 135, tick. Right, and you need to just repeat the step, check that you have assembled it correctly, go under evaluate, mass properties, 327.67, negative 98.39, 102.91. Okay, so once everything is done, again, just copy your px, py, pz value into Moodle, right? Into Moodle, alright? I repeat, there's a quiz on Moodle, so you need to copy these 3 values, alright? And then repeat the same steps, pack and go again. And this is where the instruction gets a bit confusing. So after you have pack and go both files, alright, you need to zip each of them separately, alright. Then after that, you need to put into another folder, and you need to zip that folder. So basically, the instruction is you need to put a zip you need to put a parts into a folder into a zip, which you need to then put into another folder, which is another zip. Does that make sense? Okay.